Hello. In this video, we will learn about the Excel's golden rule.
When you're writing formulas in Excel, there's an important rule called Excel's golden rule that you need to follow. So before getting into the golden rule, which you may be actually using without knowing it, let's look at an example where this can be applied. So here we have a small forecast we need to do for a company's sales. So the sales growth rate is 2.5% per month, and the January sales is 1,000. And we want to forecast for the next months. So one way to do that is we can take the 1,000 from here, the January sales, and multiply that by 1 plus the growth rate, which is in this case 2.5%. So you can even type 2.5 and then percentage, or you can write it in decimal form 0.025. So we'll use it this way, and we press Control Enter. And we get 1025 for the February, and we can copy the formula down like this. So we got the forecast up to December. Another way to do that is you can take the January sales and multiply that by 1 plus the growth rate using the cell reference D13. And here remember, we need to fix the cell reference when you're copying it across, because otherwise it will move because of the relative cell referencing. So the easy way to do that is you can press the F4 key, which applies the dollar signs to both of these, the letter and the number. So D13 becomes fixed. So here we can press Control Enter, and then we can copy it like this. So what is the difference between the two methods that we did? Here we basically hard-coded the sales growth rate, 2.5%. And here we have used the cell reference for the growth rate. So both give the exact same results. But what happens if the growth rate changes to 3%? Then obviously your hard-coded formulas don't update. So only your cell reference formulas, only the formulas where you use the cell reference will automatically update. So this is a practical application of Excel's golden rule. So the golden rule is, if a formula input can change, you put it into a cell and refer to it in the formula with a cell reference. So that's what we have done. Because this sales growth rate can change and is kind of an input or assumption, we need to always put it in a cell separately and then refer to it in the formulas. Otherwise, if it changes, we need to go inside each of these formulas and change it manually if you had hard-coded the growth rate like this. So that's a very important rule in Excel. And it says also, if a formula input will not change, you can type it into a formula, like if you're using 12 months in a year or 7 days in a week. So that 12 and the 7, let's say interest rate is 12% per year. Then you, to get the monthly rate, you can divide it by 12. So in that kind of scenarios, you can hard code it, the 12 and the 7. But otherwise, if it's like a sales growth rate or some other assumption like inflation or something like that, you need to always type it into a cell like this as an input and refer to that in the formulas using the cell reference to that input cell.
Thanks for watching.